Now that's how you make a debut on a new network. I'm John Reckland with a retro review of WWE Raw from September 25th, 2000. Meanwhile, WCW was giving Vince Russo the World Heavyweight Championship. So I wonder if you can figure out which brand was winning the Monday Night War at this point. Clearly, WWE could have basically sacrificed a goddamn goat there, and they would have won the ratings war because Vince Russo was determined to destroy the company along with the AOL Time Warner merger. But anyway, this actually wasn't that bad of a show. It was a cool debut on TNN, which later became Spike TV. And it was coming off of Unforgiven 2000, which I also did a retro review of. Please check that out. And Austin comes down. His Disturbed theme was very odd. And I like Disturbed. They're a good band, but it was just very, very strange. What did you guys think of that theme? Answers in the comments, please. But he talked about who ran him over. Triple H and Stephanie have the worst marriage ever, and etc. They run everybody down. All the people he's missed since he left and came back, like Naked Midian. He particularly pointed him out. To be fair, Naked Midian was pretty shit. Here's Mick Foley, and he says, "Well, nobody's ass needs to be violated in any way," because Foley was trying to be funny. And to just back it up, back off and let him do his investigation. And then Austin's like, "Well, I don't like your investigation." "Well, I don't like your face. They're getting me." No, I'm just kidding. This talking continued to go, though. We had Benoit talk about being robbed last night, talked about retribution. So, see, that's long-term storytelling because Benoit was the instigator of the group that calls themselves Retribution. I kid. He tried to get retribution in June of 2007. Boy, can't imagine why people wonder about my sense of humor. And he wants a shot tonight against The Rock, and then Angle's here. He knocks Penn State University, because that's where they're at. Don't worry, Penn State University would have their own controversy sometime later. Then we get asshole chants, a lot of asshole chants at Benoit and Angle. And he talks about forgiving Stephanie because she kicked him in the genitals, as he said, because Angle was still trying to play the goody two-shoes guy. And before he did the thing with Charmel about 4.5 years after this, why was that ever a thing? And he wants a rematch against Triple H, and Foley says, no, that's denied. And then, he says he wants an apology from Austin because Austin beat the shit out of him and everything for giving him a knockoff gold medal. And then he stuns both Angle and Benoit. And by the way, I will also retro review the episode from a couple weeks from now, or a couple weeks from this one at least, where Rikishi did it for The Rock. He did it for those people. That's what I'm going to talk about. So anyway, Kane versus Rikishi. Speaking of Rikishi, the bell never rang. We got a bell to the head. Or maybe the bell did ring and the referee's just like, hell, I'm just going to let this go. It was Teddy Long. A slugfest. The ref gets shoved down. Chair to Kane. Then a brawl, pull apart. The DQ's called. The match went maybe 2 minutes. 20 minutes of talking, and we went to the first match, which went about 2 minutes. And then Austin confronted Taker. And he said, well, I was taking some time off, but if I wanted to beat your ass, I would. But you and me were going to have to go at some point. This is when Taker was doing chewing tobacco. Which, by the way, no matter whether you're a wrestler or not, is a disgusting habit. I just want to go on record. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I just think it's disgusting. So, Edge and Christian are talking to Foley, who's in the bathroom at the arena. And they want to get another shot. They're like, well, hey, why we want another shot at the Hardys, but why are we getting a ladder match after having a steel cage match at Unforgiven 24 hours before? Foley said, it's our debut on TNN. I need my top 2 tag teams doing some good shit and everything. And they say, well, that makes sense. And then Christian's like, fine, it's totally going to be the shortest reign ever. And then Foley, and I want to say I'm ashamed I laugh at this, but Foley pulled out one of those little umbrellas and, the alcoholic drinks on the island, where it's like shortest reign, they're going to need this little umbrella. And I mean, I love stupid jokes, so it made me laugh. It was really good. And he said, I thought it was funny. What do you think? Inga, I think it was some woman that was in the toilet. She says, I thought it was pretty funny, Mr. Foley. And then threw a tip into the jar. Also, a fun fact, there was a stuffed animal on a toilet, and apparently that was from a sick girl. A girl who, I can't remember if she was battling cancer or what. She was battling some illness, and she gave that she sent that to Foley, or like her parents sent that to Foley. And it was something she treasured, and she wanted to know if, like, maybe it could be featured once on a television show, or maybe the parents did, to just honor their daughter. And he was like, absolutely. So I don't remember the dog's name. I don't remember what name they gave it. But he talked about it in his documentary, and it was a really sweet moment. So it was really kind of cool to see a stuffed animal there and just honoring the kid. That was nice stuff. Foley, pretty damn good guy. Taz then runs down Bubba, And Lawler and then JR, and then, he's like, well, fight me alone, he says to Bubba. And Taz and Bubba Ray Dudley face off. Lawler calling Taz a street thug. He really wanted to say the N-word badly. He really wanted to. You could tell he did, especially in that feud that he had with Booker T. People like Booker T can't be champion. Well, when Booker T faced Triple H, that is. And Lawler was on commentary. So, well, he called him a street thug about 5 times, and then a ref bump and everything, and the drink gets spilled on Lawler. And then a Raven DDT to the floor, and then, then the Bubba and Taz gets to win. That match went maybe a couple minutes, so yeah, we're about 35 minutes into the show. We've had 2 matches and 20 minutes of talking. Well, yeah, about 20 minutes of talking, actually, because if you take out the intro, it was about that because you had all the backstage shit. Triple H and Stephanie. Stephanie's like, well, Kurt acknowledged my birthday. You didn't because her birthday was the day before. I'm forgiven. Oh, good for her. Happy birthday when you actually had, realistic, non-inflated boobs. I'm not going to jail as they're almost sagging to the goddamn floor. That was hilarious. It's hilarious to see that happen. Stephanie did not like the rough kiss. She does not like it rough, apparently. So, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys in a tag title ladder match. It's the last shot for Edge and Christian while the Hardys are champions. So naturally, the Hardys will have a very long reign of a couple weeks until Los Conquistadores, are there and they're all dressed up in gold. Edge and Christian. It is what it is. Anyway, 24 hours after a steel cage match, I think was a bit ridiculous. At this point, WWE did not need to keep the foot on the gas because fucking WCW had the exhaust pipe put right through their window, and it was like, with the garage door closed. They were basically suffocating on their own bullshit. That's what was happening. So it was good. Huge ladder spear to Jeff off the ladder, and then Lita at one point hitting Edge with a chair, beating Edge off the ladder. Not like jerking Edge off the ladder. That was one of JR's best calls and one of the worst pauses. So Matt was bleeding from a previous cut that he had in the steel cage, and then Lita helps the Hardys win. Well, Matt gets up there, and they're all celebrating and happy and everything. Then Austin yells at Briscoe and Patterson, best use for them. Chyna then talks about publicity and Playboy, and she believes she's a pioneer and this kind of stuff and everything. I'm going to go on record right now and say that I never bothered to look at her Playboy. Anybody that did, cool. It is what it is. You guys liked it, that's fine. The WWE Playboys never really did anything for it. It's just sorry. The magazines never did anything for me. Some had beautiful women, but it was what it was. Anyway, here's Right to Censor. They run her down. No more, no more. Don't do that kind of stuff. Val Venus, of all people, talking about Chyna's spread in the magazine. Eddie then comes down here to praise Chyna, puts the title on the line, and Chyna says, hey, if you buy an issue of Playboy, once you see my ass, you can kiss it. Okay, that was a good line. I will admit that. Then we get Trish putting Kurt's medal down her shirt. Oh, it's true. It's true. Good stuff. Good use of Trish. She did pump up her boobs a whole lot, so I guess they might as well have done that. Then Jericho versus X-Pac, First Blood. X-Pac sucks chance. Didn't last very long. Glass ball to the head. Jericho gets busted open. X-Pac wins. Nunchucks that X-Pac have been using are used by Jericho to bust X-Pac open, and then the walls of Jericho on the announcer's table. And this feud's going to continue. So, hey, at least everybody was happy there, and X-Pac was also bleeding quite a bit. Austin, Steph, and Triple H. Austin said at one point, because Stephanie would not stop talking to Austin, he said the exact line, are you going to shut her up or am I going to have to? Boy, they were only about a year and a half off with the whole Deborah thing. Austin's an expert in doing that, not just the Deborah. One of the greatest of all time in the ring, but seriously, what the fuck? What the fuck? Anyway, Rock promo. Called Benoit a punk-ass son of a bitch. Chyna, we get a pick tease. Whatever, pass. Val Venus versus Eddie Guerrero. Chyna pants Steven Richards, which was good. That was best use for him. The crackpot son of a bitch. Same with Val Venus. And dreaded roll-up for 3. Val gets pinned. Short match. And then Crash Holly gets denied a drink at WWF New York, which was still going on, and lost him a lot of money. Regal then is talking about literature. And he's talking about William Shakespeare. He was going to read Hamlet, and then Austin comes down like about 2 lines in and just stuns the hell out of Regal and then leaves. And then we get Benoit preparing for the main event while surrounded by exercise equipment. His inspiration for 6.5 years later. So, Benoit versus The Rock with Shane in Benoit's corner. Kind of continuing that on again, off again friendship. And Shane's a pussy chance. Shane kept interfering. We get a rep bump. Stephanie down to help Shane. Triple H is down, okay, trying to get out of the ring. Triple H is between the ropes, trying to get out. Benoit tries to whip the Rock. Rock whips Benoit right into Triple H. Benoit gets hung up on the ropes in the ring, at least this time, and then he gets rock bottom 1, 2, 3, and then Angle and Benoit attack Rock and Triple H, and then Benoit is because Stephanie's still upset at Angle, Benoit's like, what the hell are you doing? This is Stephanie McMahon. And then he headbutts another man's wife, which is not as bad as what he did to his own wife. But anyway, I'm going to leave it right there. Do you think the episode was pretty good? It wasn't all that bad. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.